School teaches us to color inside the lines. Work teaches us to be productive. Life teaches us to be practical. And before long, creating becomes something we think belongs to artists or musicians or people who have more time than we do. We start saying things like, I'm just not creative. But I've been wondering, what if that's one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves? When I was little, I don't remember asking anyone if I was creative. I just made things. I drew pictures. I built forts. I made up stories. I sang songs that probably didn't make any sense. And I didn't stop to wonder if they were any good or if anyone would like them. I just created. Somewhere along the way, most of us stopped. Not all at once, little by little. I don't think creativity is something we're born with. I think it's something we're born doing. Watch a child for 5 minutes. Give them some paper, a stick, some crayons. They don't ask, what am I supposed to make? They ask, what can this become? That question, what can this become? I think that's one of the most human questions that we can ask. Somewhere between childhood and adulthood, many of us have stopped making things. Not because we stopped needing creativity, but because life became heavy. We had bills to pay, families to raise, jobs to keep, people depending on us. I know that's what happened to me. I didn't wake up one day and decide creativity wasn't important. I just got busy surviving. And survival has a way of convincing you that anything unnecessary can wait. Drawing can wait, writing can wait, dreaming can wait, making things can wait. Until one day you realize that it's been decades. For years, I told people I'm not creative. And I believe that. But looking back now, I don't think I lost my creativity. I think I lost my permission. Permission to make something that wasn't useful. Permission to be a beginner. Permission to make something that might not turn out very well. Because creating requires something adulthood doesn't always reward. It requires courage. The courage to be awkward, to make mistakes, to be seen before you're polished, to try something you might fail at. Children do that naturally. Adults have to remember how. Starting YouTube brought all that back. Not because YouTube is magical. It could have been painting, photography, gardening, cooking, anything. It almost doesn't matter. What matters is that you're making something that didn't exist before. When I hit publish on a video, I'm not just sharing ideas. I'm practicing becoming someone who's willing to create anyway, even when it isn't perfect, even when I don't know how many people will watch, even when I'm still learning. I've started to think that there's a reason creating feels so satisfying. It isn't because we're chasing praise or likes or subscribers. It's because creating reminds us that we still have something to give. And I think that's something every human being longs to feel. Not just, I accomplished something, but I contributed something. Those are two very different things. One of the saddest things I hear people say is, I don't really have anything worth sharing. Every time I hear that, I wonder who convinced them. Because no one arrives at that belief as a child. Children don't think my ideas aren't interesting, my drawings probably aren't good enough, my story isn't important. We learn those things, usually without anyone saying the words out loud. Life teaches us to compare, to measure, to edit ourselves before we've even begun. What if we stopped doing that? What if instead of asking, am I creative, we asked, what wants to come out of me? Maybe it's stories, recipes your grandmother taught you. Maybe it's woodworking. Maybe it's teaching people how to use an iPhone. Maybe it's helping someone feel less alone. The form isn't the important part. The contribution is. One of my favorite quotes is from Vincent van Gogh. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. I love that because it takes all the pressure off. Great things don't usually begin as great things. They begin as one small thing, then another, then another. One video, one painting, one loaf of bread, one conversation, one idea, one person helped. That's how something meaningful is built. Sometimes people ask me why I started YouTube at 55. The truth is, I don't think I started because I wanted to become a YouTuber. I think I started because there was something inside me that wanted to be expressed. I just happened to choose YouTube as the place to do it. And looking back, I'm grateful I listened because creating didn't just give me a channel, it gave me part of myself back. Maybe that's what creating does. Maybe it returns us to ourselves, not to the version of us that's younger, but to the version that still believes making something matters, the version that isn't afraid to wonder, what can this become? If you've been waiting for permission to create, this is it. Not because the world needs another perfect artist or another perfect YouTuber, but because I think there's something inside you that's been quietly wanting to come back. Maybe it's been waiting for years, for decades. And maybe today, instead of asking whether you're creative, you simply make something. Not because it's going to change the world, because it might change you. And I have a feeling that's where all meaningful creation begins. This is becoming one of my favorite series because I don't think we're really talking about YouTube anymore. We're talking about something much older than YouTube, something children understand instinctively, something many adults forget. We were never meant to go through life only consuming what other people make. I think we were born to make things. And I'll see you in the next episode of Becoming a Creator.